Hello and welcome back to Google Nation, where we bring you all things TCG. My name is Preston. I'm here with Sam. Say hello.
Hello, we're back talking One Piece, my favorite time of day.
Yeah, it's Meta Monday, everybody. So we're gonna jump into some more interesting decks this week. We were scrolling through Twitter and found something really interesting.
I agree. Something that wasn't red. I think that was our goal. We were sick of seeing nothing wrong with it. We were sick of seeing Zoro, Ace, Whitebeard. 80 to 90% of what we see is easily one of those three guys. So, wanted to show something a little different for set three, something a little spicier. Maybe you guys want to play some of these newer colors.
Yeah, we'll probably cover red one more time this format just to show where it is after Boat's gone.
Probably.
Um, it hasn't changed that much.
Spoiler alert, yeah, it's still there.
Yeah. They're there. They're still winning.
Everything.
Not fun to talk about red every week though. So we're gonna be talking about yellow and black this week.
Ooh. And first, we're starting out with Yamato. This Yamato leader is the new one from the structure deck.
Yeah.
And go over really quick. Dawn times one opponent's turn. While your life area has two or less cards, this leader gains 1,000 power. That is an amazing universal effect. This will be good, as long as yellow keeps printing good cards. So keep an eye on this Yamato as we get more and more yellow. But this is an amazing fact. It lets you compete with Whitebeard just with that number alone. So that's immediately worth talking about.
Yeah, a good defensive leader that is able to get stronger so that it's harder to get over on the defensive side. And then on your turn, since you have to attach one, she's going to be 6k, or they are going to be 6k on attack also. So it's a good leader that's going to be able to play the yellow cards without having to deal with the random Big Mom effects. Probably in good contention with the Katakuri leader. I feel like a lot of people are in love with the Katakuri leader for just mono yellow. Um, so I feel like this is going to be a new up and coming deck that we should watch out for in the future, at least for the next few weeks.
Yeah. And it's not catered to necessarily the big mom mechanic. Obviously, yellow is going to switch probably often, just like every other color. So it's just going to keep growing and growing as we get better and better yellow cards. But the big mom mechanic works here still. There's a lot of all these trigger cards are still really good. You have two searchers with Pudding and Spedo. And the end game is still ferocious. So, and these are things to highlight for this yellow deck. It might still not. It still might be missing a couple cards here to make it contend with some of these red decks that are being really oppressive. But this is a really good start for a Yamato deck, and we can keep tinkering it and tinkering with it. I think we might be able to reach it.
Yeah, yellow has a lot of cards that are reducing your life and adding to your life. So getting down to that two zone shouldn't be too hard just between like battle and also your own effects.
Yeah.
A lot of your effects want to trigger after removing a life anyways. So you have the opportunity to get this effect going earlier, and being able to defend then with your new 2Ks. So this deck runs, I think, every 2K that yellow has to offer.
Yeah.
Strucin and the Pudding are mid at best, but this Yamato is exciting. I believe this is the Yamato that they're printing in like super short prints as a alt art,
Yeah.
um, which is going to be exciting to see what they do with that in the US when that comes around to us. But it's when attacking, add the top or bottom card of your life area to your hand. This character gains 2k power until the start of your next turn.
Yep.
Wild.
Yep.
Really good character card, and a 2k on top of that. And probably going to see a lot of play through most yellow decks just because it's so good and a 2k counter.
Yeah, with more sets, we'll have better options. Because you're right. These 2K cards are probably what's holding the deck back from being supreme. If we're looking at what other decks are playing, their 2K cards are just amazing at this point because they've had so many sets. So yeah, give yellow another set. They'll have more cards. They'll have more 2K combos. We'll flesh out this end combo. But this theme deck was really helpful for the yellow deck, much more than I think we might have initially assumed. We had highlighted this Yamato, but this Yamato as well, the 5-drop 7, fills a hole in that mid game, I think, for yellow very nicely. And big surprise, I don't know why, this trigger effect from, go ahead, Fugetsu, you have the last name, right?
Omisubi.
Omisubi. Thank you. I would have butchered it. Yeah, another excellent trigger card for yellow on top of the ones they already had. So yeah, I'm definitely liking where yellow's projected. It's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. And they get a lot of good keywords too. Cracker gets
Double.
double attack.
Yep.
The starter deck Katakuri gets rush.
Hmm.
Um, and the top end of yellow is disgusting with Lin Lin and the Katakuri Secret. Those
Hmm.
are disgusting in-game cards that just generally are going to probably upset your opponent if you can get to them consistently.
Yep.
Um, and with two searchers, you should be able to eventually get these. You're moving your deck a lot more than you did with like set three black, so or set two black.
Right.
Um,
That's a good comparison. You know, one color, one set, and a nice transition into the other deck that we had found to finish the new color set. We had found an interesting smoker list. We had been seeing a lot of Lucci, a lot of Lucci, a lot of Lucci, but I think we believe, you know, Smoker is up there as well, just as interesting, just contending, but he does play a different deck list, so we wanted to highlight that. Smoker's more of a full or navy build. We're playing very, very few CP9 cards, just the ones that are outstandingly good without having a bunch of them. But Smoker, again, he's just playing really good cards at every count, at every drop. Nasty cards are coming down, cards that you have to respond to, and you're going to have to respond to differently.
yeah, absolutely. And I think it's a really good counter meta to what Red is playing
Hmm.
because Red plays so many low drops that you should be able to proc your leader effect often enough that it makes it worth it to play this deck. And then there's also the Smoker character card from the starter deck that has an effect that gets procced at zero cost also. So there's a good synergy on board that your leader's going to be probably zeroing out like a Nami or a Chopper on board, and then two cards get boosted from that, which is really cool to get. And then on top of that, the character card gets double attack
Hmm.
and is ridiculously strong. He's 8k double attack at that point.
Hmm. And can't be KO'd.
Silly. And can't be KO'd by a card effect,
Yeah.
which is a good theme for this deck.
Uh-huh.
So many cards cannot be KO'd by card effects.
Yeah, even the rare Smoker from the set as well can't be KO'd by effects, and he also has plus 2k when you have a zero card cost in play. Fukuro, the blocker, can't be KO'd by effects. Borsellino on your opponent's turns can't be KO'd by effects. Just a lot of really, really annoying cards to deal with. I think that's why we've seen the complete phase out of Jet Pistol out of red. Marco plays, 15 somewhat event cards, and Jet Pistol we thought would be one of them. But because of deck like this, that's got to be a good reason why we don't see it anymore. And the huge boost to this deck has to be all the deck movement that we got. Brand new is huge for this deck. That takes this deck up a whole tier easily. Khalifa as a 2K has a ton of movement. And we've already gushed enough about Aisha, but being able to hit the board with Sakazuki and Kabi, and also having the potential of hitting hand out of Aisho, just really ruins a lot of matchups against, I imagine, Ace and Nami just to have horrible days against the card Aisho.
Oh, absolutely. And this is interesting because I believe this deck list is coming out after the
Yeah.
black and yellow starter decks.
Hmm.
So we're seeing how big of an impact the yellow starter deck made, and how little of an impact the black starter deck made to at least this build. This deck isn't using any of those cards, and it's probably because the synergy is just off. The cards just didn't work with the navy cards, so you didn't use any of them.
Hmm.
It's going to be interesting to see how that changes as time goes. The navy's not going to hold on to this color forever, um, but with these character cards, they might just.
Yeah.
Sakazuki's ridiculous. Aisho's ridiculous. Borsellino's ridiculous. Um, this deck isn't playing the low drop Kuzan,
Hmm.
which I believe is like a draw and then has a minus effect also, which is good. I think that they chose Khalifa over that. At least that's, I think, the same drop range, if I
Yeah.
remember
Yeah, they're both
correctly.
fours.
Yeah, and Khalifa is a 2K that draws two. So it's just a little bit different play style, but I think it works. I think this deck is really interesting. I was just calling it a control deck before we started. Um, it limits the amount of control your opponent has by
Yeah.
having so many characters that can't be KO'd by effects. And then it has control over the board with all the minuses and KOs. And then it's starting to have control over your hand. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, and then the power these cards have as well. They're not syncing in any of the power. The cards are strong at their drops as well. And then, then you have these really annoying event cards as well. Black just keeps printing better and better cards. They definitely need to lose Navy soon, because if they get one more set of Navy, I think we could be in trouble. The CP9 tag really did help, I think, slow that down, so hopefully they keep going into that direction. But even so, these cards alone and together have just good effects. Like Fukuro as a blocker can't be KO'd by effects, and then Khalifa, you're able to keep messing these cards together. It's going to create something really controlling and maybe not fun to play against someday in the future, but I'm enjoying it now. I'm hoping Smoker and the rest of Black gets better days.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm super happy to see it trending up, especially because it just didn't seem like it took off in Japan. The West loves Smoker.
We do, yeah.
They're playing it pretty consistently, and it's doing pretty well here. And now finally Japan's taking it up with set 3.
Yes.
So I think it's just going to keep expanding, and I can't wait to see what the West does with it when set 3 comes out here, because I feel like it's going to be similar, but we're going to push it differently. So it's nice to have it on our radar now, so that you know that this deck could be menacing, especially with ban list happening now.
Yep.
If they keep hitting red, this deck is going to skyrocket because it just has so much control.
Yep.
So keep an eye out for the changing meta as these months go on.
Ooh, I love that. Yeah, Black's going to absolutely run rampant here when we get that Lucci and Smoker. It's going to be fun to play with and against, probably. But that is our set 3 Meta Monday. We haven't covered much of it, so we wanted to highlight some of the unusual decks, so we don't have to keep featuring red in every single video that we do here on this channel.
Absolutely.
But guys, thank you for coming. If you're still here, please consider doing all the YouTube things, like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.
Peace.
Bye-bye. The whole time I was thinking, I can't believe Garp blew up an island. Like
You can't say that.
Oh, spoiler. I was looking at his face, like, in the deck, and I'm just like, damn, I can't believe you did that to that island.
Bye.
Goodbye. He said gallic gun, and it's gone.